Imagine, if you will, a small boat caught in the midst of a raging storm. Picture the scene, the sky darkened by ominous clouds, the air filled with the taste of salt and the relentless drumming of rain. The sea, once calm and serene, now a maelstrom of towering waves and swirling currents, tossing the small fishing boat around like a leaf in the wind. On board, the fishermen are gripped by a fear that gnaws at their hearts. They're seasoned sailors, men who've spent their whole lives at sea, but this storm, this tempest, is unlike anything they've ever faced. Every gust of wind and every crashing wave seems to echo their dread, growing louder and more desperate with each passing moment. They're struggling, battling not just against the elements but against their own mounting fear. Their hands are raw, their muscles aching from the constant strain of trying to keep their little boat afloat. They're doing everything they can, using every bit of their knowledge, their strength, their courage, but the storm is too powerful, too relentless. The world around them is a blur of rain and wave and wind. Their shouts are lost in the howling gale, their efforts seeming futile against the might of the storm. The boat is tossed mercilessly, a tiny speck of wood and hope in the vast, angry ocean. It's a battle of wills, a test of faith against the raw, untamed power of nature. Just when they're about to lose hope, just when they're on the brink of despair, something happens. Amidst the chaos, amidst the torrent of rain and the roar of the storm, one of the fishermen looks up. His eyes, stinging from the salt and the rain, catches a glimpse of something. A light, flickering in the distance, cutting through the darkness like a beacon of hope. In the midst of the chaos, the fisherman, weathered and worn, strains his eyes to make out what the glimmer of light is. He squints and suddenly realizes what it is: a lighthouse in the distance, a symbol of safety and a promise of refuge. The lighthouse stands resolute against the storm, a reminder that even in the darkest times there is always hope, always a way back home. Yes, a lighthouse standing tall and firm against the dark rolling waves. This is not just a tale of a fisherman lost at sea. This is our story too. We all have our storms, our trials, our tribulations. We navigate life's tumultuous seas, often feeling lost, unsure of our direction, our purpose. But like that fisherman, we have a beacon of hope, a lighthouse that guides us through the dark and stormy nights. That lighthouse, my friends, is our faith in God, a loving and merciful God. Faith is more than just a belief. It is a force, a beacon that illuminates our path, that guides us through our darkest hours. It's like the lighthouse for the lost fisherman. No matter how fierce the storm, no matter how high the waves, the light from the lighthouse never dims. It's constant, steady, unwavering. It's a beacon of hope in the midst of chaos. We all face storms in our lives. These storms can be daunting, overwhelming. They can make us feel lost, alone, desperate. But it's during these storms that our faith matters the most. It is our faith that becomes our guiding light, our beacon in the darkness. It is our faith that reminds us that no matter how fierce the storm, there is always a way through. So when you find yourself in the midst of a storm, when you feel lost and alone, remember the fisherman, remember the lighthouse, and let your faith guide you. It won't be easy. The journey through the storm is never easy. But remember, the lighthouse never moves. It stands firm, its light never wavering. Despite the raging storm, the light from the lighthouse never wavers. It remains constant, guiding them through the darkness. And so does our God. He remains constant, a beacon of hope, guiding us through our personal storms. So keep the faith. The fishermen, with their hope reignited, steer their boat towards the light. This light, this beacon in the storm, is much like the presence of God in our lives. It's a lighthouse, a steadfast promise of safety and guidance amidst the tumultuous waves of life's trials and tribulations. Just like the fishermen trusting in their lighthouse, we too must learn to trust in God's light during our darkest hours. It's not always easy, is it? The wind howls, the waves crash, and the storm roars with all its fury. It's in these moments that our faith is tested, and it's in these moments that we must learn to trust the light. You see, the lighthouse doesn't stop the storm, it doesn't calm the waves or silence the wind. It simply stands firm, its light penetrating the darkness, guiding the lost back home. And so it is with God. He doesn't promise a life without storms, but he does promise to be our guiding light through them. The Bible in the book of Proverbs chapter 3 verses 5 and 6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight." This verse isn't just a suggestion, it's a lifeline, a beacon of hope in the storm. It's a call to trust in God's light, even when the storm rages on. And just like our fishermen, it's not enough to simply see the light. We must steer towards it. We must make the choice each day to trust in God, to follow his guidance, and to submit to his will. It's a journey, one that requires strength, courage, and above all, faith. As they inch closer to the lighthouse, the storm begins to calm. Their trust in the light has carried them through, and so too will our trust in God carry us through our own storms. For he is our lighthouse, our beacon in the storm, and in him we find our way home. Finally, they reach the safety of the lighthouse. The storm has passed and the sea is calm once again. It's a familiar scene, isn't it? The aftermath of a storm, the calm that descends, the relief that floods in. It's like taking a deep breath after holding it for too long. There's an undeniable tranquility that comes after weathering a storm, literal or otherwise. Imagine our fishermen, their hearts no longer pounding with fear but beating calmly, steadily. The tempest that had whipped the sea into a frenzy, that had tossed their boat around like a mere plaything, is no more. Now, all around them, the sea is a mirror, reflecting the serene sky above. And in this tranquility, there's a profound awareness, an understanding that the storm was fierce, yes, but it was not invincible. That they, mere men against the might of nature, were not helpless. They had a beacon, a guiding light that led them to safety, that saw them through the storm. This is the peace and relief that comes from trusting in the lighthouse to guide them home, trusting in each other to keep the boat afloat. And in the context of our lives, trusting in God during our difficult seasons. In the midst of life's tempest, it can be easy to lose sight of this trust, to be overwhelmed by the storm, but let the fisherman's tale serve as a reminder that even in the most violent storm, there's a lighthouse, a beacon of hope, a promise of safety. The storm doesn't last forever. It rages, it roars, but eventually it passes. And when it does, the calm that follows isn't merely the absence of chaos. It's a testament to your resilience, your faith, your trust. Just as the fishermen trusted the guiding light of the lighthouse, so too can we find solace and guidance when we trust in God during our life's difficult seasons. Because in the end, the calm after the storm isn't just about surviving. It's about emerging stronger, braver, and more faithful than before. If this message blessed you, please share it with someone who could use the encouragement. Also, please subscribe for more inspirational faith-based videos. God bless you.